Hi, it's Conor Svensson here. Just before we get started in this week's episode, just to let you know I'm on my travels currently, but like the blockchain never stops, neither do I stop creating the content for this. But we'll be back to normal next week. And so if there are any audio issues or video there, stick with me because it'll be back to normal in next week's edition. Thank you. Hi, it's Conor Svensson here, founder and CEO of Web3 Labs, and this is your week in blockchain on Monday, the 16th of August, 2021. The highlights this week include the Senate has passed their $1 trillion infrastructure bill with the crypto reporting requirements. Circle wants to become a bank. Crypto and blockchain investments have already doubled 2020s according to KPMG. PolyNetwork has suffered a record-breaking $600 million hack. Smart contracts are now live on the Cardano testnet. The NFT marketplace OpenSea has overtaken DeFi exchange Uniswap on Ethereum usage, and Fortune raises over $1.3 million in NFT sales of its cover art. The Senate has passed their $1 trillion infrastructure bill, including the original problematic text which imposed broad tax reporting requirements on the crypto industry. This was passed on Tuesday morning. The document includes a much scrutinized provision that requires everyone from central crypto exchanges, transaction validators, such as miners and software developers, to provide details of this to investors. There were numerous efforts over the past week or so to address the vague nature of the crypto clause and ensure that exempt parties, such as miners and developers who didn't have the means to comply with the legislation, weren't affected. And the revised text ended up receiving support from both parties in the Senate. However, because this compromise was agreed recently, the only option to getting it into the final version of the bill was through a process known as unanimous consent, which required zero objections, which didn't happen in this case. The company Circle, which is responsible for the USDC stablecoin, has announced that it wants to become a bank, so it relies less on third-party partners. We spoke previously about how Circle was planning to actually go public via a special purpose acquisition company previously, and they've said that they'd like to become a full reserve national commercial bank operating under the supervision and risk management requirements of the Federal Reserve and the FDIC. By going down this route, it would reduce the risks around its business and its reliance on third-party payment systems. We've spoken previously about their various partnerships with people with payment processors, and if Circle can actually make this move across to becoming a bank, then no doubt that will be a very, very significant step forward for them as a business with respect to bridging the world of DeFi and stable coins such as USDC with more normal everyday financial services. AMC, the movie theatre company, has announced they're going to start accepting a Bitcoin payment for movie ticket theatres by the end of the year, following suit with a number of large companies that we've seen by showing that they're embracing the crypto technology in terms of payments and so on. It's they're hoping to become more attractive to the generation that are bigger into cryptos. Whether it's enough though to actually revive their fortunes, just given everything that's happened with COVID, it's unlikely that this will help directly there, but nonetheless it shows innovation on their part, looking at it seriously as a way to pay for tickets. In the ETH2 network, the number of deposits that have gone in has hit over $20 billion now. So with the Ethereum network, the Beacon chain, which launched at the end of last year in December, people have to deposit Ether in order to actually receive a reward or stake via staking for their cryptocurrency. So this is a one-way transaction, and the fact that there's over $20 billion worth of Ether staked now in this network is a huge milestone there. And the actual number of coins or Ether basically that's been staked there has hit almost 6.6 million. The SEC has fined the crypto exchange Poloniex with a $10 million fine. This goes back to some of their practices during in years prior to them being acquired by Circle in 2018. However, Circle did actually spin out the company and formed a new firm called Polo Digital Assets for this. But the SEC's action focuses on the time frame from July 2017 to November 2019, which the SEC claims the exchange sold digital assets that were securities, although the exchange was not registered to do so. The PolyNetwork has suffered a record-breaking $600 million hack. So PolyNetwork is a multi-chain interoperability protocol, and they saw a loss of roughly $600 million of cryptocurrencies tied into the platform. They're attacked on a number of different platforms. So they on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Polygon. There were addresses across those networks that the attackers actually managed to drain funds from. The numbers were Ethereum, which held $265 million of crypto, Binance Smart Chain 250, and then Polygon 85 million. So as a result, this is the largest hack that has happened so far. The interesting thing is, though, that the hacker who stole this, they actually conducted an Ask Me Anything, answering questions about their motivations and plans, and the actual, hacker explained that the exploit was meant to teach PolyNetwork a lesson, and that they plan to actually return the funds though as well. So at least in this instance, it was kind of a white hat hacker. At the time of recording, the hackers actually returned almost the entirety of the funds that were stolen, apart from 33 million that were frozen by Tether following the exploit. But these can be moved once Tether actually authorizes it. PayPal's Venmo app, which provides a mechanism to pay friends and merchants, has added a credit card offering and crypto buying service in the last year, and now they're combining the two services. So now basically you can get cash back to crypto using the platform, and people can get that cash back paid in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, or Litecoin. With the crypto that's actually purchased, there won't be a transaction fee associated with it either. It's fascinating to see Venmo following the lead of companies like Crypto.com and some of the other providers who have been providing cashback services for spending on credit and debit cards recently. Certainly, it's quite an easy way for people to be able to accumulate funds in crypto without having to sort of make such a conscious effort into it. So again, it'll be another one to watch to see if more companies start to follow suit there. More news in Ethereum. We spoke previously last week about the EIP 1559 change and how that started applying deflationary measures to Ethereum, where Ether actually gets burned during transactions to reduce the fees that's payable to miners, to actually make it fairer for people transacting with the network. In the first week following the upgrade, $100 million of ETH, the cryptocurrency, have actually been burnt off the back of this, which is about half the amount of ETH that was would have been issued to miners as a reward for creating blocks. So it's great to see that things are working as planned following that upgrade there. The football star Lionel Messi, who signed a 2-year deal recently with the Paris Saint-Germain club after leaving Barcelona, has received crypto fan tokens as part of his new financial package. Paris Saint-Germain announced the news on Thursday, saying he received a large number of tokens as part of his package, and he's the first player to sign such a deal at the club. Other news coming out of KPMG now, that they've put out a report that's entitled Pulse of Fintech for 2021 first half, and the study covers global investment activities in different financial technology verticals for the first half of the year. However, one of the top fintech trends for 2021 is the growth in crypto and blockchain investments. And the first 6 months of 2021 saw 548 investment activities, including VC, private equity, M&A in the blockchain and cryptocurrency sector, and the value of these investments is 8.7 billion, which is already double the total value of the investment deals made during 2020, which came in at 4.3 billion. The world's largest port operator, PSA, is to use a blockchain for its ESG, or environment, sustainability, and corporate governance initiatives. PSA International, while in some circles not widely known, is the world's largest container port operator, and it's looking at using blockchain for decarbonisation goals. They signed a deal with a fellow consultancy also based out of Singapore, the RHT group of companies, for this ESG project, and there's a memorandum of understanding in place here that is focused here on creating more sustainable port and supply chain ecosystem. What's here certainly to note as well is that we've seen blockchain being used a lot in both supply chain and ESG initiatives, but it's seeing them coming together to have ESG for supply chain as well. It's another sign of the maturation of the technology and the actual use cases that people are applying to it, because it's certainly very well suited to those two different technologies. On the one side in ESG, where people want to have accountability about carbon emissions or where they're purchasing offsets from, and then on the other side in supply chains where you have trusted systems of record that can easily be integrated when a blockchain is used as a common platform between the different parties on a supply chain. BBVA, the bank, is to join Ant's trade finance blockchain, the Trustable. They're planning to use the Ant Group's blockchain trade finance platform in Mexico and Spain, and this is a platform that's used for targeting SMEs and banks to finance international trade transactions, and smart contracts keep up to date with things like the update with information about deliveries and so on, and a number of different banks are integrating with the platform to provide the actual trade finance piece of it. The Helium Network has raised 111 million to grow a crypto wireless network. Their LongFi wireless network isn't actually powered by mobile carriers, but distributed node operators that provide a blanket of coverage for IoT devices in locations around the world. And so the people who are basically helping support that network are earning crypto tokens rewards off the back of it. And they've got some significant new backing now with Andreessen Horowitz's crypto fund leading the round, but also they've received participation from Alameda Research, which is Sam Bankman-Fried's company, the creator of FTX exchange, and Multicoin Capital, amongst others. And so apparently now it has 112,000 user-run hotspots on the network, which is live in more than 11,000 cities worldwide, and more than 500,000 initial hotspot nodes are back-ordered from various Helium hardware manufacturers. Its network has quadrupled in just 3 months. So again, this democratizing the creation of Wi-Fi networks for IoT devices. It's a fascinating take on even taking on the big mobile carriers, which is certainly something that you wouldn't expect to have seen a few years ago. Tesla has published their 2020 impact report, and it shows it's using 2 different blockchains to trace raw materials used in electric vehicle batteries to ensure they're sustainably sourced. One of them is called Resource, which traces cobalt from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the other traces nickel sources from BHP in Australia. Certainly with electric vehicles and battery power, cobalt is a significant material that's used there, and the Democratic Republic of Congo is the world's largest producer of it. However, there's a lot of challenges there in terms of the mines being run in an ethical way and so on. So seeing that Tesla are making use of these digital supply chains for it is really important. It actually is related to something we've seen Microsoft talk about previously as well, where they've got their own separate blockchain platform that they're using with their suppliers. But again, this is for cobalt that gets used in some of their solid state devices. So it's great to see it being used more in these supply chains. Moving on to the protocol news, Cardano's testnet is now supporting smart contracts. We spoke previously that this was coming, and the Alonzo Purple testnet is now up and running. The Input Output Hong Kong, which is Charles Hoskinson's engineering company that support and develop a lot of the Cardano platform, have released this there. It's a very significant milestone for it, and it's targeting now probably early September for the mainnet release. And so this will actually position Cardano very well in terms of being a platform for development. They're already a very popular platform in terms of the market capitalization, but once full smart contract development capabilities go live on their mainnet, it could certainly it would be one to watch in terms of the number of decentralized apps that are being created on it. A protocol called Wormhole has also gone live to connect Solana, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, and the Terra blockchains. It's a cross-chain messaging protocol, and they launched their mainnet version this week. Again, we're seeing interop as a massive theme right now with these different blockchain technologies, and so no doubt Wormhole obviously isn't the only one, but it's one of many that are coming to market here. But the fact they're focusing on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Solana, it certainly makes a lot of sense, because these are some of the platforms that are seeing a lot of the activity, especially Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. In DeFi news, some significant news coming from Uniswap. They've now generated more than $1 billion in fees for liquidity providers. The head of research at the crypto aggregator Into the Block this week shared a chart on Twitter showing that the combined fee revenues of Uniswap's V2 and V3 mainnet deployments have passed 1 billion, and these include the fees also generated on Optimism as well. So when individuals or companies provide liquidity for certain crypto assets on Uniswap, they get paid in Uniswap's token for that each time a trade happens. And Uniswap, and also in order to actually scale as well, have also got a deployment running on the Optimism network too. And so between all of these, while they've been running, this is where this figure of more than $1 billion has actually been paid out to liquidity providers. Now those payments are also that they're made using Uniswap's token there. So it's certainly good bit of momentum there. The Ethereum-based NFT game Axie Affinities crossed $1 billion in sales. Over $1 million of tokens have been traded through 2.4 million transactions, and there's more than 1 million daily active users. It's fascinating to see just how quickly this has picked up. Although the game was launched in 2018, it's just exploded this summer. Almost a fifth of its total sales took place in the last week, and 3/4 in the past month. So just seeing this kind of increase is phenomenal. The next best-selling game after this is NBA Top Shots, which we've spoken about previously, which has racked up 675 million in all-time sales, and the CryptoPunks, which is 657 million behind that. Pet Rocks as well are making an appearance on Ethereum. They're Ether Rocks. They're a series of 100 NFT images of rocks. They're all identical in design apart from color variances, and they're inspired by the classic pet rock toy craze that blew up in late 1975. The funny thing is, though, that they were first launched in late 2017, but it was recently rediscovered and had significant momentum picked up around it in the last week as Ethereum users minted the remaining rocks. And you've even had Gary Vaynerchuk, the social media influencer, tweeting about it while discussing the added value benefit of being an early NFT project. Actually, over the last weekend, we saw 2 Ether rocks sold for more than $100,000 worth of Ethereum, and with one of those going for 135,000, which is again, it's crazy stuff happening, but fun nonetheless. Also, the NFT market has overtaken the DeFi market in a certain metric, in that OpenSea, which is the leading platform for selling NFTs on Ethereum, they actually overtook Uniswap in terms of the consumption of the Ethereum network in over a 24-hour period as well. So, I mean, this is big news too, because it just shows how popular the NFT market is on Ethereum as well. So not only do you've got both NFT and the DeFi ecosystems there, but for the NFT activity on the leading platform on OpenSea to actually overtake Uniswap is very significant news. Uniswap has been the most active project really since 2020 on Ethereum. So this is big news there, and it'll be how it pans out over the coming months will be even more interesting to see whether it's NFTs or whether it's DeFi where the big users remain. We spoke previously about Twitter releasing some NFTs. They created 140 NFTs a few months back, and their collection has generated over 5.3 million in trading volume on the NFT marketplace. OpenSea, the lowest price for one is currently 90 ETH, which is about $281,000, and so fascinating to see the actual traction that we've seen with these. Also, an NFT project, Bored Ape Yacht Club, has donated $850,000 to an orangutan charity. This ape-themed NFT project called Bored Ape Yacht Club has donated a number of funds to an orangutan charity called Orangutan Outreach today, which puts their total donations to the charity at over 850,000. They actually made the donation with an Ethereum transaction, which went through the platform, the crypto donation platform called the Giving Block. Also worth a note here as well, the Bored Apes. There was a new milestone with the Bored Ape set's first NFT sale that was over $1 million on the Ethereum network. And so the interesting thing here as well is that you had this bundle pack, Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT and the accompanying Bored Ape Kennel Club NFT, which were given away as freebies to club owners, actually, sold for 1.16 million, which is another significant milestone for them. Also, Fortune magazine, again, we spoke about this previously, how they were auctioning off NFTs for their cover art, and they've raised over 1.3 million in their first NFT sale. They auctioned off a set of limited edition NFTs of the cover of their crypto-themed August-September 2021 issue, and this auction raised over 1.3 million. The lot sold out in a few minutes, and the NFTs are already fetching resale prices of upwards of 7 times the original listing price, according to Fortune. And again, this auction was held on OpenSea. Finally, we spoke previously about Polygon, how they were launching a gaming studio. This has now been announced, the Rario platform, which is a cricket NFT platform that will allow fans to collect and trade iconic moments from cricket history. It's going to be running on top of Polygon, of course, and this is the first project to launch on top of it. Polygon's based out of India, and as a cricket mad nation as well, it's really cool to see them embracing cricket here for that. So that's all we have in terms of the news this week. But if we go to our metrics, the crypto market cap is up 6.75%, 1.96 trillion. Let's see if this week it breaks the $2 trillion again, where we saw it earlier this year. Assets locked in DeFi as well is up just under 6%. Just shy of 84 billion. The 7-day NFT sales are down almost 50%, where we saw $185 million worth of them, with the average price down 41% of 3,000, just over 3,000 US dollars. That's all we have for this week. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel. Links to all items discussed are available in our show notes and on our website, weekinblockchain.com. We've also just launched a new podcast, Blockchain Innovators, where I speak to individuals who have made significant contributions to the blockchain ecosystem, find out what inspires these innovators, get their thoughts on the latest industry news and events spanning crypto, blockchain protocols, DeFi, NFTs, DAOs, and IoTs. Thanks, and next week I'll be back home after my holiday, and I look forward to speaking to you all again then.